At Reliable Roofing, we're dedicated to
Care South is now providing
Reliable Roofing, we're dedicated to providing exceptional roofing services, including roof inspections, repairs, and complete roof installations with over 30 years experience.
Reliable Roofing provided me with valuable, quality, and dependable service. They were reliable and affordable. Please protect your most valuable investment with quality roofing services from Reliable Roofing. Definitely where the pros go.
Let our family help your family. Call for a free estimate today.
At Reliable Roofing,
Care South is now providing COVID-19 drive-through community testing at their Baton Rouge clinic. Testing is available for anyone with or without symptoms and no doctor's order required. No insurance? Care South will cover the cost. Care South is a federally qualified health center providing comprehensive medical, dental, and behavioral health services, offering telehealth services and an in-house pharmacy. Satellite clinics in Donaldsonville, Plaquemine, and Zachary. At Care South, we're here for you. Care South. Family serving families.
Opinionated, outspoken, informative. The Jaguar Journal. Your source for the latest information on Southern University sports and SWAC athletics. A Baton Rouge sports talk tradition. Now, here's your host, Reggie Flood.
Good morning. It's 7 o'clock. You know what time it is. It's the Jaguar Journal. I'm Reggie Flood, and of course, the man who sits on my left, he's my right-hand man, Perry White, going to be joining us. It is week 0. We're talking football, Jackson State, South Carolina State. Both of us are out of the studio today. Perry is holding it down in Houston as the Southern University Human Jukebox goes to win the national band competition again. And so the jukebox is on the road, and Perry's holding it down over there. He's going to be joining us in a little while. And, of course, I'm on the road making it happen as I do every week. And so we're going to be doing the Jaguar Journal. And it is going to be one heck of a show. We have several things planned. Soon as my man Perry joins us, we're going to get up and kicking. Mike, what's happening this morning, man?
Nothing
Mike,
much, just waking up.
Yeah, hey, man, 7 o'clock gets here early, baby. It gets here very quickly in the morning, We got to be up and rolling. How am I sounding, Mike?
Oh, you're sounding good on my side.
Okay, all right, good deal, man. Yeah, man, but it's week 0, everybody's excited. Like I said, it's first SWAC game. The SWAC is really kicking off the season in prime time. South Carolina State, Jackson State, going to be on ABC. That's going to be an interesting game. Been a lot of hype around that game. I've been seeing the coaches all over. Coach Buddy Pugh, the legend from South Carolina State, announces that he is going to retire after this season. So that's a big deal. Coach Pugh has he's pretty much been the dean of HBCU coaches. He is the dean of HBCU coaches. One of the last active legends in the game. I think you can put Coach in there with in the same category as Southern would put Pete Richardson. So he's won national titles. Matter of fact, he won a national title 2 years ago, beating with the same Jackson, not the same Jackson State, but beating Jackson State in the Celebration Bowl. So Coach Pugh has decided after 47 years in coaching, 22 of those years, 22 years at South Carolina State, that he's going to step down. So that's a big story in HBCU football. And, of course, Jackson State, where they'll be bringing in a new coach. Coach Sanders is out. Coach T.C. Taylor is in. T.C. Taylor is a Jackson State alum. They're going to be on national TV, 6:30 kickoff on ABC. And for the Jaguars, getting ready, baby. It's game week simulation for the Jaguars. Coach Dooley talked about it. They're going to treat this like a game week. They had that practice schedule that's changed as school is going in. They moved practice to 3:00 now. They're getting in game mode. They're going to go through a simulation game today. If I'm not mistaken, they're going through a simulation game this evening. I'm not sure of the exact time, but they're going to go through a simulation game today, and they're going to be ready. So A.W. Mumford. For those who don't know, A.W. Mumford is going through some changes. They're going to have a new experience adding LED lights to A.W. Mumford. So going to be some new things, the lighting systems. I guess now when we score a touchdown, you've seen the stadiums where the stadium's lights go out and they change colors and they do all kind of things. They put on a light show when something big happens. Well, now you're going to get those things at A.W. Mumford. You're going to get that effect at A.W. Mumford. So Mumford getting new lights. They were installing those last week when I saw the pictures of it. So some things are happening around Southern University and around athletics that are big. So I'm happy to hear that. Those are good things. And so we're gonna dig into all of that. And of course, we'll go around the SWAC as we prepare. Southern University travels to Montgomery next week. Big game to open up the season versus Alabama State. It's been I won't say it's not a rivalry, but I think it's always a big game whenever Southern comes to Montgomery. I think Coach Eddie Robinson's ties to Louisiana. He's a Louisiana guy, New Orleans guy. Dad is a Southern University alum. He has said plenty of times that he wanted to go to Southern, and that he ended up walking on at Alabama State and turned himself into an All-American linebacker and became a 10-year pro player, started 8 of his 10 years. So he's a very accomplished guy. Alabama State alum, coming there trying to get that program on track, trying to build them into something. And we all know that they play good defense. Reports are that they have still struggling on offense, but we'll see about that. I'm not going to get lost in the sauce on that right now. Tell you what, I'm looking at the clock. I know we got a little late start, but I'm looking at the clock. We're going to take a break because I want to stay on the correct clock. We're going to take a break. When we come back on the other side, we'll continue the conversation. Make sure you stay tuned. It's the Jaguar Journal.
Care South is now providing COVID-19 drive-through community testing at their Baton Rouge clinic. Testing is available for anyone with or without symptoms and no doctor's order required. No insurance? Care South will cover the cost. Care South is a federally qualified health center providing comprehensive medical, dental, and behavioral health services, offering telehealth services and an in-house pharmacy. Satellite clinics in Donaldsonville, Plaquemine, and Zachary. At Care South, we're here for you. Care South. Family serving families.
At Reliable Roofing, we're dedicated to providing exceptional roofing services, including roof inspections, repairs, and complete roof installations, with over 30 years' experience.
Reliable Roofing provided me with valuable, quality, and dependable service. They were reliable and affordable. Please protect your most valuable investment with quality roofing services from Reliable Roofing. Definitely where the pros go.
Let our family help your family. Call for a free estimate today.
At Reliable,
Okay, I'm here. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm back. I'm back. This is we're rocking and rolling here. It's the Jaguar Journal. Mike is hipping me to the new show, the new format here. We come back to the show. I tell you what, man, we are I'm glad everybody's joining us. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. You can check us out live there. You can comment, and you can check us out live on Facebook. So we're glad to be able to bring you the broadcast right there. You go check us out and follow us on Facebook and like and subscribe on YouTube as we are growing that platform and growing that medium. Like I said, my man Perry White and I are trying to make this happen. We're going to be bringing on next week. I think next week I can confirm we're going to New Orleans is going to be added to the fold. We're going to bring New Orleans on. So now we're going to be in Baton Rouge, Alexandria. Shout out to everybody at Alexandria at KTTP. My man Tim Lavachon up there handling the board. Shouts out to him as we do our thing, man, at Alexandria. We're going to be bringing on New Orleans next week. We're looking to bring on Lake Charles, and as we expand the Jaguar Journal, and to the millions, as my man P. White would say, to the millions and millions and millions of people in listening land who are watching and listening to us, we thank you for supporting the Jaguar Journal. So, we are growing this thing, making it big. 25 years, Mike. Mike, this show is older than you, Mike. It's older than you, Mike. 25 years on the air. We've been doing it and steady growing. And so we're going to continue to do that. We want to give a shout out to everybody that's been rocking with us and still rocking with us as the show grows and gets bigger. So we thank you very much. It is interesting to watch Mumford Stadium coming together. I'm waiting on Perry to come on so we can get into this conversation. I'm sorry, my man Tim Lavachon Tim just texted me. I'm sorry, Tim Lavachon. That's my man that holds us down at Alexandria. He's up there producing the show for us in Alexandria on KTTP. So I want to make sure I get his name right. Shouts out to him. But I'm waiting for Perry to come on so we can discuss this because I don't know. There's something about the Southern folks, Southern Knights, that we have a hard time accepting positivity. We have a hard time accepting positivity. I don't know what it is, but it's just I don't know. We just lean to see try to even in something positive, we try to find a negative in it. And I want to have a conversation about that, and I think Perry would be a good person to have that conversation with, kind of get his point of view and get you guys' point of view. 499-1073 if you want to call in. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about. I know you guys are out there listening. I know you guys are excited about football season. Athletic Director Roman Banks was in the paper today. He said that season tickets are still available, but he said season ticket sales have gone well. But he kind of gave some numbers that surprised me. He said last year we sold about 7,000 season tickets. Southern sold about 7,000 season tickets, which is a good number, in particular for FCS school. That's a good number. Season tickets matter because season tickets are guaranteed income, and not just waiting from game to game. If you sell season tickets, then it's easier to budget, easier to spend because you already have that money in your coffers. So season tickets are better. If you can afford to buy season tickets, if you want to buy season tickets, go and buy season tickets. It's better for the athletic program. But he talked about season tickets last year. They sold approximately 7,000 season tickets last year. He said this year, almost everybody's renewed. They're at 60. He said approximately 6,500. He wasn't quite sure yet because a sale hasn't been completed. But my thing is, while I'm not disappointed in them selling the season tickets, I want those season tickets. So I want us to sell more, man. I can remember when Southern would sell 10,000 season tickets. I would love to see that again. I love to see the growth. I love to see us grow. I would love us to get back up to 10,000 season tickets. But I think when you compare Southern to other programs, like programs, they would knock the door down. They would be overjoyed to sell 3,000 tickets, not to mention 7,000 season tickets. So good job, Jaguar Nation. I just wanted to grow and get even bigger and better. that's what we got to do. I want us to grow and get even bigger and better. We have an opportunity to really help the program by just making a contribution and selling season tickets. So let's get out there and run those numbers up. We're at 6,500. They're looking for us to go to 7,000 with new season ticket holders. Let's try to get that thing to 8,000. That's what I'm saying, because it helps the program. It helps grow the program. So let's do that. And I'm paying attention to what he was saying about how we're slowly but surely trying to transform Mumford Stadium as we go through. He talked about there are going to be new concession options. Hopefully the concessions will be faster. I think they'll be able to accept cards this year. If I'm not mistaken, there are going to be new options other than the hot sausage po' boy and cold drinks and hot dogs and stuff like that. There'll be new options at the concession stand. The new LED lights, like I mentioned before, going up in the stadium. So, he says they're slowly but surely they're adding things to the stadium. They're renumbering the chairs, because I hear a lot of people complain about that. Renumbering the seats. They're going to be adding guardrails to the west side of the stadium. Eventually, they're going to put chair-back seats in most of the stadium. So those improvements are coming. It's slow, man. Money has to be raised, and money has to be there to take care of it. But they are doing those things slowly but surely. And the more money that we contribute, the more money that they can use to redo things like that, because the state does not pay for those things. It's all about fundraising and revenue. So, the state doesn't pay for it. So we have to do those things ourselves. So let's get that done. For those of you who don't know, there is the new Lacumba statue. And as an alum, I know, people look at that. There's a new Lacumba statue that they're just finishing up in the Tony Clayton Championship Square that they just added. It's actually a beautiful statue, and it looks like a little bit more fierce Lacumba than previously we've had on the campus. I really like it. I think it will be open for the first game. I think they finished it. It'll be open for the first game. I saw that the quarterback club posted some pictures of it, and so that's going on, and people go out there taking pictures. This is the thing. People talk about, the Tony Clayton Championship Square and stuff, but if you want to contribute to the program, you can literally buy a piece of the championship square and contribute to the program. It's meant to be a fundraiser. So you can go out and buy your square, or your company, your family, buy your square, put your name on it, and that money goes to the athletic department. So, if you got a problem with it, then if you got a problem with Tony Clayton spending his money, then how he wants to spend his money, then that's your damn business. But, I don't tell a man how to spend his money, how to spend the money that he made. I don't tell that man how to spend his money. But if you're complaining about it and you want to actually contribute to the university, then you should go to Tony to Championship Square and buy you a square and donate that money to the athletic department. That's all I'm saying. P. White, I hear you in the background, man.
Good morning, Flood.
Good morning, brother. Good morning, brother. We rocking and rolling here.
Do we need to take a break, or we rocking and we gonna go roll?
No, let's take this break. We got to stay on the clock because of the other. We know we got new markets in, so we got to stay on the clock for their sake so we can get these breaks in. So let's take us a break, and then we come back on the other side. P. White's gonna join me. We'll continue the conversation.
Care South is now providing COVID-19 drive-through community testing at their Baton Rouge clinic. Testing is available for anyone with or without symptoms and no doctor's order required. No insurance? Care South will cover the cost. Care South is a federally qualified health center providing comprehensive medical, dental, and behavioral health services, offering telehealth services and an in-house pharmacy. Satellite clinics in Donaldsonville, Plaquemine, and Zachary. At Care South, we're here for you. Care South. Family serving families.
At Reliable Roofing, we're dedicated to providing exceptional roofing services, including roof inspections, repairs, and complete roof installations, with over 30 years' experience.
Reliable Roofing provided me with valuable, quality, and dependable service. They were reliable and affordable. Please protect your most valuable investment with quality roofing services from Reliable Roofing. Definitely where the pros go.
Let our family help your family. Call for a free estimate today.
At Reliable Roofing,
.org.
And we're back. It's the Jaguar Journal. Yes, indeed. It's Reggie Flood, Perry White. We making it happen. Perry White, Reggie Flood. What's going on, P. White? You on the road with the human jukebox, getting ready to go win another championship.
Yeah, what they say, I'm in H-Town. I'm in Houston, man. So I'm somewhere off of West Palm and Farn. I'm somewhere deep in the city, Flood.
You deep in the city, huh? I hear you. You making it happen.
21 lighters on my dresser, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Throwing up the H-Town, going down.
Swing to my left, swing to my right.
That's right. Talking real slow.
I'm feeling slow this morning. How about that?
Yes, sir.
What's going on, man? How you doing today?
Man, I'm good, brother. I'm good, man. Just we're talking earlier about season tickets, getting ready. Week 0 is here. Getting ready for the season. Well, the season is here, ready to kick off. So that's how you doing.
Man, it's a big game, man. We've been looking forward to this for a long time. And Jackson State, South Carolina State take on each other today. Should be a big one in the SWAC Challenge. The storylines are all over the place when you look at this game. Buddy Pugh this week has announced his retirement. This will be his last season as a head football coach. And when you look at his career, what a career it has been. Won the Black College National Championship in the Celebration Bowl just 2 years ago, beating this Jackson State team, but not specifically this one. That one was a Deion Sanders-led Jackson State team. This team today is going to be a T.C. Taylor-led Jackson State team, a team that and a coach that played quarterback as well as wide receiver for the school of Jackson State. But this game is not going to be the Jackson State we have seen over the past 2 years. You remember that time we was up in Jackson, that spring 21, and everybody kept saying, wait till the fall. Just wait till the fall. That's not this team.
No, this is definitely not that team. This is definitely not that kind of situation at all. So I'm interested to see. I've been following this. You know, I will say this: ESPN, ABC, they've been doing a good job of really pumping this game. T.C. Taylor was on Sports Center last night. I've seen they've done a lot of things. Once again, they're doing exactly what they did with the Celebration Bowl. They're putting a lot of the focus on Jackson State. And we know what happened the last time they did that. They put all the focus on Jackson State and didn't look at South Carolina State. And South Carolina State came up and thrashed Jackson State 31-10 in the Celebration Bowl. You could best believe that Buddy Pugh, and I talked to Ken Richard about this. This was a strategic move by Buddy Pugh to announce his retirement when he did. And you can be guaranteed that that team is going to be ready to play when they hit the field in Atlanta.
So, you know what's funny? So, yes, I do every now and again listen to the 1400 Club because I listen to everybody's information that is out there. So I'm listening to my guy Ken Clark last night. And now that Buddy Pugh has announced his retirement, you're starting to hear a different tune from the Jackson State people, right? Initially it was, hey, man, it's us and then it's everybody else. Now that you've heard Buddy Pugh announce his retirement, I heard last night, hey, man, look, everybody, this ain't the same 2022 team. This is 23 team, completely big turnover. So I think now hearing Buddy Pugh announce his retirement, it seems like it is now made them realize South Carolina State, if they wasn't going to get up before, which I feel like they were, they're definitely going to get up now. When you're talking about a legendary coach, sending him out the right way. And when you go back and talk about ESPN putting the spotlight on T.C. Taylor, to me, how disrespectful with Buddy Pugh just winning the Celebration Bowl just 2 years ago. South Carolina State.
And Buddy Pugh being the legendary coach that he is. I mean, it's not like Buddy Pugh. Yeah, it's not like Buddy Pugh is just some run-of-the-mill coach. You know what I mean?
It's a slap in the face.
Yeah. It really is, and I'm sure they'll take it that way.
Let's go to the phone lines. Mike told me we got Chuck on the line. Good morning, Chuck. Mike, is Chuck still there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. Good morning.
All right. Good morning, you three. I'm doing just fine. Just chiming in on what you all have been talking about. Yeah, I heard the announcement about Coach Pugh retiring on Thursday. He said he announced it to his team after practice. And see, that'll get a team going. I think back to when Dr. Tom Osborne retired from Nebraska and went out with a national championship. And there are others that do. They want to send their coaches out as champions. That's what many these teams want to do when they announce retirement. That teams end up playing harder. They're not saying they're going to automatically do that, but they're going to really get them going. But Brother Flood, I was thinking about you. You were talking about things. I see y'all getting some LED lights there in your football stadium. And you're talking about the positives that someone could be doing, and there are always going to be some complaints about something. I know that too. It's not just you guys' alma mater, but it's just everywhere. I hear people always something that's going well. somebody's gonna have their opinions about something. Like you just talking about your fellow attorney down there, Tony Clayton, given to the school. He's done a lot for the institution, and somebody's gonna come up and say something. That's like you say, that's his money and not yours. And he's doing. Who else is going to do that? You're the kind of, just like they talk about, somebody make that's like someone making remarks about P. Diddy doing something, and I'm gonna say, hey, are you in P. Diddy's shoes? I say he has the luxuries to do these things. What are you going to be doing?
Exactly, Chuck. You complain. People complain about how other people do with their money. Focus on yours and do what you can with yours.
Exactly, and you just hear, and it's not just your school. I hear that other schools, something's gonna always come about it. And you know what happened? I'm gonna be watching some of the high school games. Of watching St. Thomas Aquinas out of Fort Lauderdale. They playing St. John Bosco out of Bellflower, California, both nationally ranked teams. And see what happened. That's a great example. I'm gonna be watching the SWAC Challenge after that, because you want to draw these people to these institutions, not just the athletes, but the students to these institutions. That's why they're going to these major institutions. They have things to show, and what you're doing that's going to attract people to your institution. They're going to look at young people going to look at these structures.
Yeah. Hopefully that will be the case, Chuck. Hey, Chuck, thanks for the call, man. Hold it down in Monroe. Chuck is one of the examples of people listening all over the country, all over the state. Chuck, appreciate you calling, man, from the fun.
All right. You have a great weekend. Stay cool.
All right, you too, brother.
All right, thank you, Chuck.
Yeah, man. But yeah, Chuck is right. I mean, you put your money where your mouth is, and then let other people do what they want to do. This conversation started, Pete, from you might not know, but the conversation started because I was looking on social media, and they just revealed the new Jaguar sculpture in Tony Clay's Championship Square, in the Championship Square, and I saw people saying, "Well, that money could be spent this and that," and I was thinking, "But it ain't your damn money." You know what I'm saying? To put it bluntly, like it ain't your money. And, even Tony paid for it, his attorney Tony Clayton paid for it, but he's also paid for a lot of other things. He also paid for the meeting room for the football team to be redone. He's also paid for a building at the law school. He's done a lot of different projects around the campus that he's paid for. So if he wants to pay for money for a new statue, then that's his damn business. My thing is, they have a book that comes out every year with the donors to the university, from $99, from 0 to 99, all the way up past $100,000 and more. They list the donors to the university. If your name ain't in that book, then I'm really not trying to hear what you're saying when you're complaining about how somebody else is spending their money. Like I'm really not, and I just, it's a little, I guess that's the age. As I get older, my patience gets a little shorter. P. White, I think that's what it is too.
That's Unc for you. Calm down, Unc. Don't get him, Unc.
I'm just like, okay, you don't. We understand you don't have to have $1 million, but it's. I don't know. Social media gives people. I think it gives people the license to complain about stuff that they really not affecting themselves. You know what I mean? And I don't want to get you lost in the sauce on this, but
Well, we definitely had Banks on the show. He gave you a million reasons to be involved and want to be involved in terms of the direction of athletics. And guess what? People want to complain about a locker room. They want to complain about lights. They want to complain about a statue or a fountain or a turf or a damn seat in the stadium. Listen, people, if there's something you want to change and something you want to see different, get a group of you together collectively and put your money where your mouth is, or, start you a show and get people on board to support. Do what you have to do in order to change the narrative where talk is cheap. Action is everything, right? And I think in this case, that's what it's all about. Action over talk.
Exactly. Always a lot of talk, always a lot of complaining, not a lot of action. It's ironic, and we got to go to a break, but it's ironic that some of the same things that Athletic Director Banks talked about on our show, they're talking about in the paper today because, we're talking about the LED lights being added to the stadium. So, but it's easy to complain without actually getting out and doing and creating action and making change. So, Let's try doing more of that, less talking, less complaining. We got to take us a break. Make sure you stay tuned. It's the Jaguar Journal.
Care South is now providing COVID-19 drive-through community testing at their Baton Rouge clinic. Testing is available for anyone with or without symptoms and no doctor's order required. No insurance? Care South will cover the cost. Care South is a federally qualified health center providing comprehensive medical, dental, and behavioral health services, offering telehealth services and an in-house pharmacy. Satellite clinics in Donaldsonville, Plaquemine, and Zachary. At Care South, we're here for you. Care South. Family serving families.
At Reliable Roofing, we're dedicated to providing exceptional roofing services, including roof inspections, repairs, and complete roof installations, with over 30 years' experience.
Reliable Roofing provided me with valuable, quality, and dependable service. They were reliable and affordable. Please protect your most valuable investment with quality roofing services from Reliable Roofing. Definitely where the pros go.
Let our family help your family. Call for a free estimate today.
At Reliable Roofing, we're dedicated.
good job in terms of showcasing his ability at the quarterback position. You saw Noah Biden at that number 2 spot. Kendrick Grimes at the wide receiver spot. At the running back spot, really stepping up big, running hard and heavy, and a host of other guys, wide receivers catching passes, man. Defense standing tall. Overall, scrimmage seemed to have went well, but there's only so much you can keep watching scrimmage and practice and until you're just ready to go in. I'm ready to see what this Southern football team is going to look like next week on the road against a really tough Alabama State team, particularly where the question mark is for Southern. And the question mark is going to be on Southern's offense. And I want to see Harold Blood with game experience, with game speed against what I think is probably the number 1, number 2 defense in the conference when you talk about Alabama State's defense with Eddie Robinson Jr. leading the way as the head coach.
Yeah, I'm interested to see, too. This is, whenever you change quarterbacks, then you always are wondering, what that guy is going to be like under pressure. How will he handle game situations? Because we really don't know. We've seen very little of Harold Blood in game situations, and it's been kind of up and down. I mean, against Florida A&M, he looked good. Against Jackson State, he didn't look so good. So we've seen him kind of up and down. Now this is going to be his team. Pretty much everything we've seen so far from him has been positive. But under fire against a team that's supposed to have a very good defense, we're going to know right off the bat what kind of leadership, what kind of quarterback Harold Blood is. You got an offensive line that we really haven't seen gel yet because we think we have some quality guys on the offensive line, but because of injuries, they haven't really had a chance to work together. That's going to be the key to all of this, whether the offensive line can gel and work together and get some experience. But this, seeing Southern for the first time, the expectations, everybody that I've talked to who's actually seen the team, the expectations are high. Can they transition those expectations that people have seen in practice, that coaches have seen in practice? Can they transport that to live game day experience?
And another guy that I'm really looking forward to seeing, he didn't really have a good day last week. Kobe Dillon, coming back off an injury, of course, came into Southern as a quarterback and changed and changed over to the running back position. And we saw him have a breakout game just a couple years ago at Pine Bluff from the running back position, running over 200 yards on Pine Bluff. But then injuries have kind of hampered him. But he's a guy, when he's locked in and he's ready, he can be a real playmaker. He didn't quite get a lot going on last week's scrimmage, but he's a guy I want to see as his motor gets warmed up and he gets back in the thick of things. How much of an impact player can Kobe Dillon be? Because he's really a one hell of an athlete. And I want to see how far can Kobe Dillon go, especially now that the door is open at the running back position. When you lose Gerard Sims, you lose a Carl Liggins. It really opens up the door and the opportunity for him. And I want to see, will he be able to embrace that opportunity and take a full opportunity to be able to really become that guy at running back, Floyd?
Well, I think the key to that is, once again, going to be the offensive line. We got Gary Quarles coming in, a guy who's at Alabama A&M, transferred out, and he was an all-SWAC guy. He's going to come in. Kobe Dillon, who we know can run the ball, but the key to that is, once again, is going to be the offensive line. Kobe Dillon recovering from an injury. We know he's a great athlete, but if the offensive line is playing well, I think Kobe will be just fine. I think it'll probably take him some time to get back in the groove, but I think Southern is going to be a lot more run-heavy than we've seen before from a Coach Dooley team, and especially early in the season as Harold Blood gets his legs under him. So I think Kobe Dillon is going to be important, but once again, Kobe is only going to be as good as his offensive line is. And if the offensive line can gel and start to control the line of scrimmage, I think we'll see big things, not just out of Kobe Dillon, but out of the offense and the run game in particular. So it's time for us to take a break. It's the top of the hour. Stay tuned for hour number 2 of the Jaguar Journal.
Care South is now providing COVID-19 drive-through community testing at their Baton Rouge clinic. Testing is available for anyone with or without symptoms and no doctor's order required. No insurance? Care South will cover the cost. Care South is a federally qualified health center providing comprehensive medical, dental, and behavioral health services, offering telehealth services and an in-house pharmacy. Satellite clinics in Donaldsonville, Plaquemine, and Zachary. At Care South, we're here for you. Care South. Family serving family.
At Reliable Roofing, we're dedicated to providing exceptional roofing services, including roof inspections, repairs, and complete roof installations, with over 30 years experience.
Reliable Roofing provided me with valuable, quality, and dependable service. They were reliable and affordable. Please protect your most valuable investment with quality roofing services from Reliable Roofing. Definitely where the pros go.
Let our family help your family. Call for a free estimate today.
At
Make them up too, Pops.
And we're back. It's the Jaguar Journal, the second hour. I'm Reggie Flood, and he's the man who sits on my left, and he's my right-hand man, P. White. We're in the building,
Yes,
on
sir.
the road, the Jaguar Journal, making it happen. That's how we do it. No matter where we are, the Jaguar Journal is still going to come to you through your listening or watching device, because we're on YouTube, so you can look at us there, listen to us there, like and subscribe. We're on Facebook Live. You can look and listen, like and subscribe. And, of course, you can listen to us in Baton Rouge, Alexandria, on your radio, on the web. Wherever you are, you can always catch the Jaguar Journal for the millions and
millions
of people who listen and watch the Jaguar Journal. We appreciate you.
You know, Flood, big day out here in Houston. I'm with the band. They'll be participating in the National Battle of the Bands Day, a huge event every year right here in Houston for many people to get the opportunity to see HBCUs. And for the past 3 years that I've been attending the thing, you're talking about 40 to 50,000 plus. The opportunities of so many young people to get influenced by the many different HBCUs from across the country that will be coming right here to Houston. And the lineup is one, of course. You're going to have the great Southern University marching band known as the Human Jukebox. You're going to have Langston University, Florida A&M, Texas Southern is going to be in the house, Tennessee State, Virginia State, Norfolk State. How about this one, Flood? Mississippi Valley State, a band that you typically don't see at many Battle of the Bands, but they're going to be in the house today.
Now they say they come in marching 325 on y'all. They come in with
7 drum majors.
7 drum majors and 325 members in the Mississippi Valley Band. That increased, that double the population of Itabena.
You know, I said, where the hell are they going to sit in Rice-Titan Stadium, right?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Their band director is a Southern grad, Miguel Buns. He's been known around the band world for a long time. He's the creator of the Talladega College Band. If you see who Talladega is, he's the one built that from the ground up, and now he's at Mississippi Valley, so he's worked his way over into the SWAC. So I pretty much can see them today trying to make a statement, letting everybody know that Valley's on the scene for the first time probably ever, because I've never known Valley to be known for much except playing that one song that I do like when they play it, Flood. They call it their fight song, and I don't know how, because it's actually just a regular song called Devil's Gun, right?
Yeah, it's by Erykah Badu, their Devil's Gun, yeah.
Well, it's an old song. This song goes all the way back to the 70s, I think.
No, that's an Erykah Badu song.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure about that.
But, you know, just overall, man, this thing has been going on, and this is going to be huge when you talk about the spotlight. But But it's a way to get everything kicked off. You know, at first I didn't used to be a big fan of getting these Battle of the Bands started so early, especially before football, but the season. But now ESPN saying, you know, moving forward, there's going to be a quote-unquote band national championship that's going to be the night before the Celebration Bowl. And so what better way than to kick off football season today and the band season today when you talk about now moving forward, all eyes are going to be on all these bands, on who's going to be the top 2 bands that's going to make it to Atlanta and represent as potential candidates for a national championship for HBCU bands, something we've never seen on that type of scale before.
Yeah, it is, man, and the band culture has become so big and so, you know, it has kind of become its own thing, you know, and I love seeing it, man. I stand corrected. Devil's Gun is a song from 1977 by CJ and Company. I thought so. Now, yeah, it is an old song by CJ and Company called Devil's Gun. So yeah, it is an old song, 1977. But yeah, the band culture, man, it has become really its own thing almost. You know, especially among HBCU bands. And I've always said this: the SWAC is to bands what the SEC is to football. Yep. And so I've always said this, that the SWAC, the culture that has been created around bands has been right for it to develop its own thing in terms of the competition. What I like to see now from the band competition is now develop a method to determine wins and losses, because it's really just basically on who the fans like or who gets the pop from the fans. So I think next to if we're going to organize a national championship, it has to be determined how you grade it, how you rate it, how you score it, and create wins and losses, other than just putting a group of people together and letting them pick, because I think that's never going to work. You know, in the long term, that doesn't work. Yeah, I think if you're going to do it, for me, I would like to see people who have nothing to do with nothing, where, you know, let me get fresh eyes and ears into this world of that can be so subjective. It's all about what you like and what your preference is. I mean, some people like Florida A&M. Some people may like Alcorn. Some people like Southern. It is subjective in terms of what is your musical ear? What do you like to see at halftime? Some people like drum majors, right? Southern, you only need one, right? So, and there's just a kick out and a back bend. It ain't all the gyrating, dancing, and the humping, and none of that, you know. So some bands have flag girls and twirlers and majorettes and all that. You know, some bands do not. So that's going to be interesting, just the idea. How do you go about judging this on a national scale to pick 2 bands that's going to be in front of a national audience during the Celebration Bowl weekend? I'm curious to see what goes into that. And there's so many bands, Flood. Who the hell is going to sit there and watch all of these halftime shows week in and week out like it is the college football playoffs, right? Exactly. I tell you what's interesting about this show in Houston is it's an eclectic group of bands, because usually traditionally it's the Southern bands, you know, the Jackson States, the Tennessee States, the Southerns, you know, PV. But when you start, a lot of times we don't get the chance to see the bands from the north, from the East Coast, from the Southeast, and from the East Coast, you know, the Norfolk states, the Virginia states, the bands like those. We don't get a chance to see those bands. So this is interesting to see them coming and playing in Houston and having such an eclectic group in terms of region playing in this. So that'll also be something that they'll have to figure out, because things are different regionally. Like, you know, Norfolk's band is going to be different from Jackson State's band. You know, all of those things are going to come into play. And that's why I think it's going to have to be some kind of criteria set up that everybody has to go along with. It just can't just be everybody's opinion, because you'll never get it right. And, you know, it has to be some type of criteria. But
nonetheless, if you're in the Houston area today, you be sure to get a ticket. Come on over to the National Battle Bands at NRG Stadium. Things kick off at about 6 o'clock. Huge event over the years. And when you talk about the bands being what football is and the SEC bands being that of the SWAC, it makes sense when you get these types of events at large venues. And when you look into the stands midway through the venue and you finally get a chance to look around and you see 50,000 plus people, that lets you know there's an interest, a want, and a love for it. Just because there's so many people that's showing up as though it is a championship game, Flood.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big. The band culture is good. People come out and support it. Really happy about that. And so I encourage people to go out there, get their tickets, and go check it out. The Human Jukebox. Of course, we know. We know what it is. It's really an exhibition for the Human Jukebox and the other bands that are showing up. That's all it really is. Everybody's really there to see the jukebox. So even the other bands. But, Perry, I know you're going to have to step away. My man Mo Carter is going to join us, and we're going to talk some MEAC SWAC Challenge in the upcoming season after the break. So, P. White, hold it down, man. Let the people know, stay in contact with you, what you got going on before we go to the break, man. Take us to the break.
Man, y'all just keep up with it, man. Of course, I'm on the Human Jukebox media team, so we'll be there. You're gonna see everything tonight, Flood. So if you don't get a chance to make either back at Baton Rouge or wherever you at in the world, just go to YouTube, baby. You'll be able to check out on the Human Jukebox media. So be able to go in and check out the shows from the night, and then you can follow me on anything that's out there with my name, Perry White. Where is Perry? And as well as my On the Yard page. So hey, I'm working regardless of where it is. I'm on all ends of the spectrum, Flood.
That's right. Making it happen.
People think I'm just band. I'm band. I'm football. I'm sports, and I'm band, and I'm everything in between, man. So
there it is. We got to be diverse in this thing, man. Got to be diverse, man. It's time for us to take a break. Pete White, hold it down, man. Be careful out there. Do your thing. We'll talk to you later. We got to take us a break. When we come back on this other side, my man Mo Carter is going to join us. Stay tuned for more of the Jaguar Journal.
Care South is now providing COVID-19 drive-through community testing at their Baton Rouge clinic. Testing is available for anyone with or without symptoms and no doctor's order required. No insurance? Care South will cover the cost. Care South is a federally qualified health center providing comprehensive medical, dental, and behavioral health services, offering telehealth services and an in-house pharmacy. Satellite clinics in Donaldsonville, Plaquemine, and Zachary. At Care South, we're here for you. Care South. Family serving family.
At Reliable Roofing, we're dedicated to providing exceptional roofing services, including roof inspections, repairs, and complete roof installations, with over 30 years' experience.
Reliable Roofing provided me with valuable, quality, and dependable service. They were reliable and affordable. Please protect your most valuable investment with quality roofing services from Reliable Roofing. Definitely with a Pro-Pro.
Let our family help your family. Call for a free estimate today.
At Reliable Roofing, we're
103
we're back.
FM.
It's the Jaguar Journal. We're rocking and rolling here. We got the SWAC Challenge coming up. Jaguars getting ready for football season. We're effing in my man Mo Carter. I know it's early in the morning. He's going to call in, and we're going to do our thing. So, it's early in the morning. I know y'all out there listening. He's about to call in. We're going to talk about it. SWAC Challenge, though, big deal. SWAC has not had a lot of success in this game, although Alabama State did beat Howard last year. I think it's kind of the discussion has kind of come about if the SWAC is the MEAC. If the MEAC is a better conference than the
Care South is now providing COVID-19.
that I think it's just about the matchups and the teams as opposed to conference play, intra-conference play. I think it's more so about the matchups that have taken place. So we have a good matchup coming up this week, this Saturday. Jackson State, South Carolina State. Big game. You heard me and Perry talk about it earlier in the show, but I wanted to talk about it with my man and fellow Southern alumnus, my man Mo Carter, the anchor extraordinaire. Mo, what's going on, man?
Hey, Flood, I'm great, man. Good morning. How you doing?
I'm good, brother. I know it's early in the morning. We got you up rocking and rolling, baby.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Like, let's just say it like this. You and Perry know exactly what I'm about to talk about. I was just about to be straight, and all of a sudden I hear out another room, Daddy, Daddy, Daddy.
Yes, we understand that. Yeah, so y'all are at the beginning. I mine is grown now, but I remember back to those days.
Yeah, so
everything stops when you hear that sound.
Yeah, so I had to get Morel the third straight, and then
yes, right.
Then, they carried over there and went, all right, we're gonna figure out how we gonna mastermind this situation.
That's right. That daddy talk makes everything stop.
Yes, sir.
Oh man, how you been doing, man? How things going?
Man, I've been good. It was a really long week up here in Huntsville, trying to wrap things up with our SEC special, then our SWAC special, and then high school football began this past week. So it was like, all right, let's just get to the weekend, and I'll be all right.
Yeah, just make it. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, that was it?
Yeah, man, because look, this is the calm before the storm. Everything starts next weekend. You're going to have all the colleges, all the major colleges, all the small colleges, high school, everything is going to be on the table next weekend. This is a somewhat of a lull before everything breaks loose until forever, till next year sometime. So got to do whatever you can to do the last weekend to get it in.
Yeah, keyword is somewhat. But here's the thing, I'm off today, but my guys in my sports department are still working because University of North Alabama, UNA, they play in the FCS Kickoff Classic today in Montgomery, so I've got a guy going down there. And then Jacksonville State has their first game as an FBS program today against UTEP, so I got another guy there. So, yeah, they're already getting the taste this afternoon.
Yeah, that's interesting because Jacksonville has moved up. They're going to be playing UTEP, man. I think that's actually going to be a good game because I think Jacksonville State is going to surprise some people, especially a program like UTEP.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I totally agree. I mean, especially with a guy like Rich Rod being your head coach. And, they took a few lumps last year, but I think, like, this year they're starting to really, really get things, rolling and going. And the way he talked about things in preseason when he was talking with the media, he was like, yeah, when I came on campus, I knew we were moving to the next level, so we started recruiting for the next level. So it's not like there's going to be some team with a bunch of FCS level players moving up to the FBS. Like, they basically got guys who could have been playing, P5 or whatever, to literally be playing on the level that they're playing. And it'll be interesting to see, what they do, especially now in Conference USA, which basically begins the day for them.
Yeah, exactly. So that ought to be interesting. Man, but MEAC SWAC Challenge kicks off week 0, Jackson State, South Carolina State in prime time on ABC. The big announcement early this week, and I was so shocked when you sent me that. You sent it to me first about Coach Buddy Pugh announcing his retirement, man. First of all, the retirement of a legend after this season. A lot of people say he doing it strategically to use it as motivation for his team. But after 22 years at South Carolina State, 47 years in coaching, we're seeing a legend step away from the game. How big is that, man?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, when you think about a guy like Buddy Pugh, he is South Carolina State, and he's a guy that South Carolina State, born and raised, played there, was a long-time assistant coach and become the head coach. But I actually applaud him for basically coming out and being like, hey, this is going to be the last go-round. Take it how you want to be. And, I'm pretty sure he's looking at it and saying, let's go ahead and enjoy this and, kind of just knock this out the way just in general. And if the players want to rally around him, then so be it. If not, it is what it is, honestly, in my opinion. But I feel like, he just wanted to knock it out the way and then, let his players, play the season knowing that they still have a lot of goals at hand. And also I feel like this for a guy that's like as much of a veteran as Coach Pugh is, he understands these types of situations. And for him to just be like, look, I'm going to retire at the end of the year means that he knows when it's time to literally go. And I applaud him for that. But in the meantime, they still have business to handle. And clearly, I hate to say this, but majority of today's game that's going to be on ABC tonight with the MEAC SWAC Challenge, they're going to be talking about the legacy of Buddy Pugh a lot. So just be prepared for it in that sense.
I'm actually wondering if they are, because all the focus that I've seen so far has been on Jackson State, T.C. Taylor, Deion Sanders leaving Jackson State, and the focus. So a lot of times, Mo, I think when you talk about the network broadcast and things like that, I don't really think sometimes they don't get it in terms of guys like a Buddy Pugh who's been around forever, who has a great personality. If you talk to him, you sit down and interview him, he's an interesting guy. But I don't think they really get it. I think they look at, they're looking for the flash, the story, the big story that they feel like can get national attention. And sometimes they kind of look over stories like Buddy Pugh. And I hope that isn't the situation this time. But so far what I've seen, they haven't really talked about South Carolina State and Buddy Pugh the way I think they probably deserve.
Yeah, no, I'm totally with you. I mean, you and I, both remember how it was when South Carolina State played Jackson State in the Celebration Bowl. There was really no talk about South Carolina State then, and then boom, look what ended up happening. They ended up, not only beating Jackson State, but they handily beat Jackson State. But I'm really, really hoping that because of the news coming out on the day that it did, it allows the production staff at ESPN along with the talent to be like, okay, look, we're going to have to talk about those Pews, a decent amount because, I mean, clearly they've got enough video of him. They've got enough this and they got enough that. It's just a matter of, all right, how many times he want to do from a talking point standpoint? Because, I mean, honestly, I was hoping that they weren't going to just be like, oh, let's talk about Deion not being here or whatever, and Deion not being here, and then promoting that he's playing next week, against TCU. So I think this adds a new narrative for next week's game. I mean, not next week's game, tonight's game, I should say, with that. But, yeah, we'll definitely have to see. But I would not be surprised if, they start doing some kind of, hey, let's take a look back at Buddy Pugh. Here's a picture of him when he played. Here's a picture when he was under Willie Jeffries. And then now here's him winning the celebration, something like that. I can imagine it's probably going to happen.
I would hope so. I would hope they go talk to the coaches on his coaching tree, coaches like Billy Napier, people like that who have been under his coaching tree, under his tutelage. Because a lot of coaches have come through Buddy Pugh, and he's a great coach. I mean, his record says it says what he is, but he's a great coach. And I've met him a couple of times, never really had real interaction with him, but from people that I've talked to, he seems to be a great guy also.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I had a chance to speak with him fall 2021 when they when they came up here to play Alabama A&M, I did a Zoom call with them earlier in the week, and once I told them that I played with Coach Richardson, he was like, "Oh man, I've been knowing Coach Richardson for years." It was like that dude there. He was like, he's won so many. He just started just rolling and rambling on like that, and then I got a chance to catch up with them after the game for a little post-game interview, and that was a pretty exciting game, 42-41. Unfortunately, they were on the 41 side of things. But, yeah, the times I've got a chance to interact with him, I've always thought he was, just great. And he's also just one of those guys that's just good for college football, especially on the HBCU side.
Exactly. Well, we got to take a quick break. When we come back on the other side, we'll get into the matchup with Jackson State and South Carolina State. Everybody stay tuned. It's the Jaguar Journal. We'll be right back after these.
Care South is now providing COVID-19 drive-through community testing at their Baton Rouge clinic. Testing is available for anyone with or without symptoms and no doctor's order required. No insurance? Care South will cover the cost. Care South is a federally qualified health center providing comprehensive medical, dental, and behavioral health services, offering telehealth services and an in-house pharmacy. Satellite clinics in Donaldsonville, Plaquemine, and Zachary. At Care South, we're here for you. Care South. Family serving family.
At Reliable Roofing, we're dedicated to providing exceptional roofing services, including roof inspections, repairs, and complete roof installations, with over 30 years' experience.
Reliable Roofing provided me with valuable, quality, and dependable service. They were reliable and affordable. Please protect your most valuable investment with quality roofing services from Reliable Roofing. Definitely where the pros go.
Let our family help your family. Call for a free estimate today.
At Reliable Roofing, we're
FM. the Jaguar Journal here on Talk 107.3. Want to everybody that's in Alexandria who's listening in, appreciate y'all on KTPP listening in. At Alexandria, my man Mo Carter knows about that area. He used to work in that area, so y'all are familiar with him. To everybody that's listening to us on the World Wide Web, on YouTube, on Facebook, we appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for joining us. Mo, I forgot to tell you, we on in Alexandria, man. You know a little bit about that area.
Oh, absolutely. Central Louisiana, man, a huge part in making me who I am today, being the sports director at News Channel 5 KLB for 3 years. Love those folks out there in Sinla, man. I still stay in contact with a lot of individuals, including a lot of the individuals who attend Second Evening Star Baptist Church under Pastor Philip Taylor. And, man, like I said, Sinla was definitely a very, very, very good place that's still near and dear to my heart. At some point, I need to make a return trip out there just to go say hello in person. I make phone calls and text messages to folks, but at some point, it'll definitely happen. Here's what's crazy, Reggie, is that, it's literally been, come next month, it'll be 10 years since I've left Alexandria and just come through the state of Alabama.
Wow, time flies so fast, man. It flies so fast. But they're getting a chance to hear you now, so they're hearing your hello to Alexandria right now. This is our second week being broadcast in Alexandria, so New Orleans is coming on board next week, so we're expanding, man. So it's good to have you on here.
That's phenomenal, man. That's expanding
man.
At the right times, too.
Exactly. Man, but it's a big game coming up. We talk about Coach Pugh retiring, but this matchup on the field, also the T.C. Taylor story. T.C. Taylor coming in, former Jackson State player, a guy who actually is familiar with Coach Pugh because he was the offensive coordinator at North Carolina Central in the MEAC and coached against Coach Pugh, is now taking over at Jackson State, man. That's a big story, man. What about the expectations for T.C. Taylor? What are those expectations, and are they outsized? What about T.C. Taylor?
Well, I'm going to go off of conversations I've had with some of my sports anchor friends in Jackson. I mean, first and foremost, T.C. Taylor is very, very happy and proud to be the head coach of Jackson State. I mean, he's come from a family full of Jackson State alums, and, of course, he played at Jackson State in the late 90s, early 2000s, was on their staff at a certain point in time, too. So, he's very, very excited and proud to be in that position. And also he's a guy that understands, I guess you could say, the pressure of being a person that's in charge of Jackson State, even though he's never been the head coach of Jackson State until this year. He understands what comes with it. I don't want to go all in and be like, okay, he's similar to how Coach Dooley knows what's going on, being the head coach at Southern, but he has an idea in general, especially, having the background and relationships of, being in Jackson and knowing, what it takes with that. But also, the guys in Jackson who work in media basically told me that, this Jackson State team has been pretty private when it comes to practice and all that. They really only had, one open session, and they've only talked to Coach Taylor maybe 3 times during the entire preseason camp. So, quite frankly, a lot of people really don't know what they're about to see from this Jackson State team tonight when they take on South Carolina State. I mean, clearly they've got a roster full of new guys, following the departure of Coach Sanders. So, your guess is as good as mine as far as, what's really going to be done with this team and how well they are going to perform. But I will warn anyone in any way, shape, or form, if you think you're about to come out and watch, some excellent football, excellent this, excellent – no, you're not getting that tonight. You're going to see some flashes of brilliance, but look, it's week 0. It's still going to be sloppy at certain points in time, just because you're so used to going against your own teammates. And when you go against somebody else, while it's great to do it, the anxiousness of it, can kind of knock people's focus off just a tad bit from fully executing the way they want to do.
Exactly. And like you said, Jackson State has played it close to the vest. They've even gone, Coach Taylor said he wasn't going to name a starting quarterback till game time, or at least he wouldn't tell us, or tell the media, or tell the public until game time. So in terms of Jackson State, we don't even know who their starting quarterback is going to be. We suspected maybe Jason Brown, but we knew Jason Brown kind of struggled in the spring. Reports were that he was struggling in the fall. So we know very little about what Jackson State is going to present tonight.
Yeah, it literally is a guessing game, and we really won't be able to really check it out until it's 6:30 tonight on ABC, and whoever runs out on the field, that'll be the person.
That'll be the person. Man, it's such an interesting time because the South Carolina State-Jackson State game, they previously met in the Celebration Bowl. We talked about that earlier. South Carolina State really handled Jackson State. This game has kind of, I won't say a rivalry, but there is a bit of contention between the programs, just from a pride standpoint. How much does that come into play into a game like this?
Oh, I mean, it comes into play in a major way just because, I'll say this. I don't know how many Jackson State players are still on the roster from the time they lost the Celebration Bowl, but for the guys that are, you got to think they were probably younger, and now they're older, knowing that, oh, man, if I ever get that chance or whatever, I'm definitely going to try to get it on the revenge aspect, and you got to think that's the case. Clearly, the Jackson State fan base wants to win after losing in the Celebration Bowl in a game in which they were heavily favored and ended up losing by several touchdowns in that one. So, you good and well know that Jackson State's going to, be that, whether you're a fan that wants to see it or you're a player. And and for the coaches that are still on the staff, I'm pretty sure, it wasn't that long ago that they remember what happened. So clearly they want, maybe not so much a revenge factor, but they just remember as it is. And from there, they'll just, try to just go out and get the W. Now, granted, every game does count or whatever. Will this game impact how the rest of the season goes? I don't think so. But if you can get yourself off to a good start, then it's a different situation moving forward.
It definitely is. I know we talk about the MEAC SWAC Challenge, but you're a guy, you've been around the SWAC. You cover the whole SWAC. Alabama A&M is right. You're in Huntsville with Alabama A&M. What about the rest of the SWAC? The league kicks off next week. We see who's been voted as the favorites and all of that kind of stuff. What do you feel about the SWAC, man? Who do you believe in the favorites? Who do you look at as a team that's a dark horse? What do you see about the SWAC this year?
All right, so if we start in the East Division, which is the division I cover, a little bit more heavily than the West, I do think that FAMU is in a good spot to actually, win the West. Win the East this year, especially with a returning starting quarterback in Jeremy Musa. But one thing that myself and DJ Jones were talking about not long ago was the fact that with Jeremy Musa, last year, clearly he had an All-American wide receiver, and he liked to throw the ball to that receiver a lot. And he struggled when he wasn't throwing passes to that wide receiver. So it's up to Jeremy Musa to really improve his game and spread the ball around to his playmakers on the offense. If he's able to do that, then the FAMU offense will definitely be clicking, and you can easily see them, win a lot of games and represent the East Division from that. After that, I really think it's just more of a huge toss-up on how things will go the rest of the way. Clearly, we still don't know what we're going to see from Jackson State until tonight. With Alabama State, D. Davis is the starting quarterback, but there's another quarterback on the roster in Damon Stewart who has been showing flashes of brilliance down there. So it'll be interesting.
Now, Stewart is a transfer, right? He's
correct.
A transfer.
Yeah. He was a junior college guy, and he was at UAB for a second as well. So, and one thing that I found out is that clearly you kind of have two different offenses when when those guys are in. I mean, D. Davis, you kind of run more of the spread, and then, all right, hey, it breaks down to just take off or whatever. Stewart's more of a drop-back passer guy, runs when he needs to run, but, yeah, he's more of a drop-back passer. So you have kind of two offensive identities when those guys take the field. So that'll be interesting to see what's going on with that. And clearly, they will have one of the best defenses in the SWAC, hands down. I mean, they'll be led by big linebacker Colton Adams, who's making his way back this year. He's actually a local guy from right north of Montgomery, from Wetumpka. So he's definitely going to, be a force this year and basically force a lot of quarterbacks either throw the ball early or a lot of running backs to maybe reconsider when they're running up the middle of that. But you also have to keep an eye out on the defensive backs as well, man. Adrian Mattis and Chauncey Moore, two guys that will definitely be in the mix when it comes to playing DB this upcoming year for Alabama State. So defensive-wise, they'll be pretty solid. Here in Huntsville with Alabama A&M, their defense will be much improved as well. But the key thing for them is offense. This is a three-man race right now at quarterback for Alabama A&M between Cornelius Quad Brown, a Georgia State transfer, Jackson State transfer, Quincy Casey, and then Xavier Langford, who started a lot of games last year. All three guys bring a different element to the offense. I expect Coach Maynard to probably still to probably play two guys in week one against Vanderbilt. And if somebody can have some flashes of brilliance, that person will start the next week against Lane and see what happens as they get ready for their SWAC opener against Southern the following week. But, yeah, I really think it'll be kind of like a three-team race for second place in the East. And then following that, I think Mississippi Valley will be improved or whatever, but I still think they have some time to go into Bethune-Cookman. It's kind of a toss-up because I really don't know what they have going. I talked to their coach, and he was more excited about having the opportunity. And, Coach Raymond Woody, this is a former Bethune player who played on the professional level, and now he's having his chance to give back. But after all the hoopla that happened at the beginning of the year, you kind of have to raise your eyebrow as far as like, all right, y'all got to just prove some things to us. In the West, I mean, clearly.
Hold on. Let's take a quick timeout. We're going to take a break, then we'll come back and you can give us the West, all right?
Sounds good, man.
All right, stay tuned. It's the Jaguar Journal.
Care South is now providing COVID-19 drive-through community testing at their Baton Rouge clinic. Testing is available for anyone with or without symptoms and no doctor's order required. No insurance? Care South will cover the cost. Care South is a federally qualified health center providing comprehensive medical, dental, and behavioral health services, offering telehealth services and an in-house pharmacy. Satellite clinics in Donaldsonville, Plaquemine, and Zachary. At Care South, we're here for you. Care South. Family serving.
At Reliable Roofing, we're dedicated to providing exceptional roofing services, including roof inspections, repairs, and complete roof installations, with over 30 years' experience.
Reliable Roofing provided me with valuable, quality, and dependable service. They were reliable and affordable. Please protect your most valuable investment with quality roofing services from Reliable Roofing. Definitely where the pros go.
Let our family help your family. Call for a free estimate today.
At Reliable.
Talk 107.3 FM.
It's the Jaguar Journal. I'm Reggie Flood. I got my man Mo Carter, Morel Carter on the line from Alabama. We're talking some SWAC football, me at SWAC Challenge. Mo, we got about 3 minutes left, man, but you were about to get into the Western Division of the SWAC. You're giving us a review of the East. Talk about the West a little bit, Mo.
All right. Well, clearly we know in the West that the preseason favorite is Coach Dooley and the Southern Jaguars. But, I mean, even though that is the alma mater of both you and I feel like this is a prove-it type year. The West will not be given to Southern in any way, shape, or form. The reason I say that is because I feel like nobody's talking about Alcorn. And I think that's very, very scary in this situation. With Coach McNair brewing up whatever he's brewing up down there on the reservation. And even in my SWAC preseason preview, I said the biggest game of the year will probably be when Southern goes to Alcorn on November the 4th, because the West title could be on the line at that point in time, especially the way the schedules really kind of set up for both Southern and Alcorn. But then I think Prairie View is still going to be tough. Can't really tell you what you're going to get from out of Lincoln Parish up there with Grambling or whatever. We'll just have to wait and see with that. And then clearly, if Texas Southern can get some things going around Andrew Buddy, then clearly they'll be in the running and the mix. So it's going to be fun to watch how the West will be won this upcoming year.
Exactly. I think Alcorn is the team. I think they voted them second just out of respect for Coach McNair and what he's been able to do through the years. But I still, like you said, we still don't know a lot about them. We have an idea what their quarterback situation would be. And I think that's kind of the thing about the SWAC in its entirety outside of Florida and Texas Southern is the quarterback situation. Nobody knows. Nobody has a returning quarterback that people are willing to count on outside of those two teams. And as you know, in today's game, man, the quarterback position is important. So it's arguably the most important position in today's game. So I think that's, as quarterback play goes, we'll see these teams start to flesh out, and we'll see the cream rise to the top. Alcorn, we know that they're going to play defense. We know that they're going to run the ball, but we don't know a lot about their quarterback position. But you have to believe in Coach Fred McNair and what he's been able to do over the past few years in Alcorn.
Yeah, definitely got to believe in what Coach McNair is doing. And because they're just so quiet right now, not saying they're going to sneak up on some folks, but you can't overlook them or, just look past them, because, I mean, at the end of the day, they're going to come to play. They'll punch you in the mouth if they need to do it as well.
Exactly.
I mean, Coach McNair knows to come through if you think about it.
Exactly. Before we get out of here, Mo, we talk about our Jaguars, man. Harold Blood being named the starter, defense, all of those things, man. The Jaguars seem to be in a place to make a run for them. They picked to win the West, but they seem to have all the ingredients. Can they put it together to win the West?
I think they can, and clearly for Harold Blood, I feel like he doesn't have to force things this upcoming year. I've watched a lot of reports from out of Baton Rouge, and it seems like the team is loving what he's doing. I saw that he brought the whole offensive line with him for WAFB's preseason special, so that shows you how much respect he's got for the guys up front. And I think the other good thing, too, is that because they're not just playmakers at the wide receiver position, he's got lots of playmakers behind him in the backfield, which will definitely take the load off of him. So if they have that good balance, I think things will be on the up and up for the Southern Jaguars this upcoming year. And, who knows, we could finally be seeing Jags get over the hump in the SWAC championship and maybe in Atlanta. I mean, I'd definitely be happy from a personal standpoint. My wife would be happy, too.
Yes, we all would be happy. We all would be. Mo, before we get out of here, tell the people where they can find you on the social media and where they can tune into you in Huntsville, man.
All right, so on social media, you can find me on both X, I guess now that's what we call it here, and also on Facebook at Mo Carter, Fox 54 on both. I'm a sports director, Fox 54 up here in Huntsville, Alabama. If you're in the Huntsville, Alabama area, we're on WCDX, Fox 54. Also now in the world of digital, you can also pull up the Fox 54 app on Roku, and you can also go to WZDX on YouTube to look at any one of our former newscasts or also shows. So I'm definitely all around there. And look, real quick, Reggie, I want to say this before I get out here. I just saw this come across my Facebook feed. For anybody that's down there along Bayou Lafourche, down in Assumption, Ascension, Terrebonne, Thibodaux, make sure you head over to the Lemon Center in Donaldsonville, Louisiana today, because the Bayou Classic tour is making its way down there. So, you want to get down there, you might have a chance to win some Bayou Classic tickets and see some people who represent both Southern and Grambling today that's down there at the Lemon Center in Donaldsonville. So, Jag fans down there, we know we got a lot of alums down there. Make sure you go and show up and show out and, represent the Jags. Or if you represent Grambling, go rep them too in the sense. But, they want to see a good turnout down there today in Donaldsonville.
Yes, definitely. Hey, Mo, we appreciate you joining us, man. We'll be in touch, talk some more. So you hold it down, and we appreciate you once again, my man, Mo Carter.
Thank you.
All right, Mo. Yes, indeed, Mo Morrell Carter. Thank you for joining us. My man, P. Whitehead, to bail out. The Battle of the Bands is tonight. National Battle of the Bands. The Jukebox is participating in that MEAC SWAC Challenge, so we'll be talking about that a little bit. And, you can always catch us on YouTube. If you miss it, you can catch the replay of the Jaguar Journal on YouTube or on Facebook, either one of those platforms under the Jaguar Journal. So we appreciate you joining us. How much time we got left, Mike? Okay, it's that time. Well, I'll tell you what, for my man Mike in the studio, for P. White, the man upstairs says the same. We'll be back at the same time in the same place, because as always, it's the Jaguar Journal.
At Reliable Roofing, we're dedicated to providing exceptional roofing services, including roof inspections, repairs, and complete roof installations, with over 30 years' experience.
Reliable Roofing provided me with valuable, quality, and dependable service. They were reliable and affordable. Please protect your most valuable investment with quality roofing services from Reliable Roofing. Definitely with a pros go.
Let our family